Welcome in to Daily Dingers. Your host, me, Josh Hickey, is excited to talk all things baseball with our main focus on daily fantasy, but also including a few props. So let's get started. Good morning. Welcome back, Daily Dingers. Happy Hump Day. Happy Wednesday. We have another loaded slate for the MLB today. We actually have games starting at 1, and they are sprinkled in throughout the day. The main slate for daily fantasy purposes for both FanDuel and DraftKings starts at 6:35 today, and there are 10 games on the slate for each one. So let's jump on in here. Let's take a look at our park factors for the day. We have for the day, let's take a look. Our park factors, our friendliest park for home runs and friendliest park for runs in general is Globe Life Field in Texas. So we're going to exploit that today. We have Soriano versus Patrick Corbin. So you will see a lot of Angels being talked about and being played today. And then our next friendly park for runs is in Miami, Lone Depot Park. We have a warm day projected there. Wind blowing to the side a little bit. It's projecting for 2% more runs. And then Great American Ballpark has the wind blowing out, and that's projecting for 6% more home runs. You got Seattle against Cincinnati there. Another field that's projected for 7% more home runs, which isn't on the main slate, but if you want to take advantage of it for the props, it's Detroit at Milwaukee. And there are a few games that we're probably going to stay away from just based on park factors alone. That is the White Sox. The wind is blowing in as opposed to what it was doing yesterday. So they're projecting for 13% less runs than normal. And Target Field in Minnesota, which isn't on the main slate, but that's projecting for 12% less runs. And then the Dodgers Stadium is projected for 11% less runs, but the wind is blowing out. So, I mean, you will still see Dodgers in my lineups today, which we will talk about. Let's get into our starting pitchers for the day. Or excuse me, our stacks. Our stacks that we're going to exploit today, we're going to do a couple game stacks. We have the Red Sox versus the Rays. The Red Sox finally put up some runs yesterday. And then they're facing a very struggling pitcher in Zach Liddell. He has gotten lit up. He has given up 7 runs and 5 runs in his last 2 starts. He has given up 5 homers already on the season, and he's only pitched in 3 games, so he does give up the long ball. So we're going to take advantage of that and play some Red Sox. And on the other side, the Rays are playing Sean Newcomb, who is he hasn't been too terrible this year, but he also isn't great either. And the Rays are super cheap to stack. They have been putting up runs left and right, minus yesterday's game. Both teams are projected for just under 5 runs, and the Rays Stadium is very friendly for home runs. So we're going to take advantage of that. Another game stack that we're going to exploit is the Angels versus the Rangers. You have Soriano against Corbin, and Corbin has been known to give up the long ball. He's also been known to give up a lot of runs in his starts over the past few years. This is the friendliest ballpark for hitters today. With the wind blowing out and it being super warm, it's projecting more runs than typical. The Angels are projected for over 5 runs, and the Rangers are also projected for over 5 runs. So you have an implied total over 10 here, which is the highest on the slate. So we're going to stack up that game in general. And lastly, I don't know when they're not going to be projected for over 5 runs. Yes, that's the Dodgers. They're facing Marquez of the Rockies. The Rockies obviously are terrible. Marquez is their best pitcher, but he's just, he's no match for the Dodgers. They're projected for almost 6 runs today. So we're going to stack them up when we can. Obviously, those pieces are a lot more expensive. So, you're going to see, I think, for me personally, a lot more stacks or a lot more players on like a team like the Angels or the Rays or the Red Sox than the Dodgers. But if we can squeeze in an Ohtani or Hernandez or Betts, we're going to. All right, let's talk about some pitchers that are on the slate today. We have, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of paying up today, to be completely honest. The highest priced guy that I have listed is Brandon Pfaadt. He's 8,700 on DraftKings. He's 8,600 on FanDuel. He's 2-1 with a 3.50 ERA, so he's been consistent, and he's playing the Marlins, who have not been great, obviously, this year, are not a great offensive team. He does typically get a good amount of strikeouts, so I like him as probably the highest priced guy that I like in general. And then a few plays that are on the cheaper side, although he's not cheaper. He's cheap on DraftKings, not cheap on FanDuel. That's Mitchell Parker. He's 7,900 on DraftKings, which is bottom, or towards the bottom anyway. And he's 10K on FanDuel. So you will be seeing me play Mitchell Parker on DraftKings today, probably not on FanDuel. He's 2-0 with a 1.96 ERA. He's facing a Pittsburgh offense that's tied for last in home runs with 10. They're the fifth worst in runs with 60. So not a great offensive team. Mitchell Parker has been pitching lights out, so I like him against the Pirates. Osvaldo Bido, the A's pitcher against the White Sox. He's 7,200 on DK. He's 8K on FanDuel. He, in his 3 starts, he's given up earned runs of 2, 2, and 1. And his strikeouts are 5, 5, and 4 in those 3 starts. So he's consistent. He's been pitching well this year. He's facing a struggling White Sox team that's also bottom of the barrel in runs scored. And like I said in the Park Factors before, this is a game we don't want to play. The wind's blowing in, so it's going to be helping Bido out a lot. So I like him against the White Sox today. And then we're going to take a stab on someone like Bobby Miller. He is 7,700 on DraftKings. He is a measly 6,300 on FanDuel. So if you want to take a stab on Bobby Miller on FanDuel, you can do so much with your lineup offensively. This is his first start of the year, but Colorado is terrible. They're the worst team in runs with 45. They strike out a ton, and Bobby Miller, when he's on, he gets a lot of Ks. And from what I read, he was rolling in the spring before being hit by a ball and in the concussion protocol. So honestly, I'm going to be playing Bobby Miller today because it will allow me, and you, if you choose to do so, to pay up for a lot of hitters in your lineup. So we're going to take advantage of that matchup. It doesn't get any better than the Colorado matchup, honestly, for Bobby Miller. So those are my favorite pitchers on today's slate. Let's move into our hitters. At our catcher position, there are a few guys. Keibert Ruiz, 4,300 on DraftKings. He's batting .333 with 2 homers and 11 RBI. He's facing Bailey Falter, who has not been great. And Keibert Ruiz has been playing consistent ball this year, so I like him today. I like the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. He's 3,900 on DraftKings, and before yesterday, where he didn't get a hit, but prior to that, in the 3 games prior, he was 4 for 10 with 5 RBI. This guy knows, or has been known to hit the long ball, so I like him and his odds today against Nick Martinez, who also gives up the long ball. And then, if you want to take a stab on someone like Henry Davis, he's 2,400 on DK. He's got a righty-lefty matchup. He obviously has prospect pedigree. He has struggled in his time playing in the majors last year, and he only played a couple games this year, to be honest. But he does have 1 hit in the last 2. So if you want to take a stab and pay down at catcher, honestly, if you play Henry Davis at catcher on DraftKings and Bobby Miller at pitcher, you could probably just load up everywhere else. But obviously, you could be eating a zero at the catcher position. So those are my three plays that I like at catcher. If I'm playing on FanDuel, I'm most likely playing a first baseman and not a catcher at the first baseman catcher position. Speaking of that position, for first base, we have Josh Naylor. He is playing super consistent ball this year. He's batting .328 with 2 homers. He's 4 for 15 in his last 3 with a homer. He's 4,700 on DraftKings. He's 3,200 on FanDuel. He's just super consistent, and you can get him at a great price on both sites. He's mid-tier, to be honest with you. A little bit higher on DraftKings, but, I mean, nothing. He's not like breaking the bank or anything. Yandy Diaz, one of my favorite plays of the day. He's got the righty-lefty matchup playing against Sean Newcomb in a great park for hitters. He's 4,100 on DraftKings, 2,700 on FanDuel, which you can't beat that price. In his last 5 games, he's 8 for 22 with 2 homers. So he's on fire. He's got a great matchup in a great ballpark at that price. I don't see how you can't play him. And then if you want to take a look at someone like Wilmer Flores, speaking of someone who's been on fire this year, the guy has 6 homers and 21 RBI, and he's still priced like he has only hit 1 homer and 3 RBIs. He's 3,700 on DraftKings, 3,200 on FanDuel. You have to mention him with the stats like that. And then lastly, if you want to take a stab at someone like Matt Mervis, he is 3,200 on DraftKings, 2,800 on FanDuel. He's batting .270 with 5 homers. He has 3 homers in his last 4. He's quietly having a very solid year. One of the few having a very solid year for the Marlins. So take a stab at him also. At second base, there are a few guys here. If you want to join in on the Dodgers stack, Tommy Edman, one of the cheaper options at 4,600 on DraftKings, and I believe he's mid-threes on FanDuel. I don't know why I didn't write that price down. He went 4 for 5 yesterday, and he's in a loaded Dodgers lineup, so you can't go wrong there. Christian Campbell for the Sox, my Red Sox, 4,200 on DraftKings, 2,900 on FanDuel. He's also outfield eligible. He's batting .302 on the year with 3 homers, and he's playing against the struggling Zach Liddell, like we already talked about, in a hitter-friendly ballpark. So I like Christian Campbell and a lot of the Red Sox today. Kyron Paris, you will see a theme starting here with the Angels guys. He's 4K on DraftKings, 3,600 on FanDuel, so his price is slowly climbing on both sites here. He's batting .366 on the year with 5 homers. He is facing Patrick Corbin, who has been terrible over the last few seasons. It's a righty-lefty matchup in the arguably the best park today for runs scored. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong there with Kyron Paris. And then Dylan Moore, someone who had 2 homers yesterday. He's batting .306 on the year with 4 homers. He's 3,600 on DraftKings. He's 2,500 on FanDuel. So spending down for him, you're looking at a guy that's bottom barrel pricing wise, who has been playing pretty well, and he's facing a struggling Nick Martinez, and also another hitter-friendly ballpark. So you can't really go wrong there also. Moving on to third base. A few guys that I like. Rafael Devers, already talked about a guy, and Christian Campbell on the Red Sox. So stacking up the Red Sox here in that game stack that we are talking about. He, again, is facing Zach Liddell, who gives up the long ball. Devers is 4,800 on DraftKings. I believe he's 3,500 on FanDuel. Let me take a look here. 3,500 on FanDuel. Again, he's playing in a great park against a struggling pitcher, so you can't go wrong there. Junior Caminero is 4,500 on DraftKings. He is 3K on FanDuel. He's been red hot recently. He's got a righty-lefty matchup against Sean Newcomb. He's batting .276 on the year with 4 homers, and he has 3 of those homers in his last 4 games. So get him while you can before his price starts climbing. And like I said, you can't beat the matchup for Caminero today. He's also using the torpedo bat. So, I mean, really he has everything going for him. Max Muncy, if you want to take a stab at him, he has been terrible to start the year. But I just want to mention him. He's 4 for 11 with 2 homers off Marquez lifetime. So, I mean, the track record against the pitcher is there, but he has been, I mean, to put it nicely, not great. He has been terrible. And then Josh Young, he is 3,500 on DraftKings, but his price now has been climbing on FanDuel. It's $3K at the moment. He is playing in the best ballpark today for runs. He's batting .387 on the year with a homer in his 8 healthy games, so you can't go wrong with Josh Young. At shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. He is 56,000 on DraftKings. He is 3,500 on FanDuel. He is 5 for 9 in his last 2 games. He's got the righty-lefty matchup versus Gavin Williams, so you can't go wrong spending up for Gunnar today. Corey Seager playing in the hitter-friendly park today. He's 4,700 on DraftKings, 3,100 on FanDuel, so super cheap over there. He's 5 for 11 in his last 3. He's got a righty-lefty matchup, and like I said, he's playing in the best park today for runs, so you can't go wrong with a guy like Corey Seager. And then Trevor Story, my guy, he is on fire. This guy has a 6-game hit streak, and in that same span, he's 11 for 26 with a homer. He's 4,200 on DraftKings and only $3K on FanDuel. I like Trevor Story today. I like him to keep rolling against Zach Liddell. For our outfielders, I mean, like I mentioned yesterday, there are a bunch of 6K guys, Ohtani, Judge, Carroll, Schwarber. I mean, all of them are viable on today's slate. It's tough to spend up for those guys at those prices. They are cheaper by comparison over on FanDuel, and I think that they're a little bit easier to fit in your lineup over there with the mid 4K range. I mean, Corbin Carroll's only 4K in general on FanDuel, so super affordable by comparison. I mean, I don't fault you for putting them in your lineup. You're just going to have to get cute elsewhere a few times, especially over on DraftKings. But have to mention them. I think they're all great plays today. But guys who I think are also great plays today that aren't the obvious plays, in my opinion. So every single Angel is on the board today. Trout, 5,900 on DraftKings, 4K on FanDuel. He has 6 homers on the year, and he's facing Patrick Corbin, who gives him up. Soler, he's 4,200 on DraftKings, 3,100 on FanDuel. He also has a ton of power facing Corbin. Taylor Ward, 4,300 on DraftKings, 3,500 on FanDuel. He has 5 homers on the year. He's facing Patrick Corbin in the best ballpark for home runs today. I'm honestly put all 3 in your lineup, to be completely honest with you. I may even do it. And then other guys in other games. Steven Kwan, he's 5K on DraftKings, 3K on FanDuel. He's batting .333 with 3 homers at the top of that Guardians lineup. He scores a bunch of runs, gets on base, so you can't really go wrong there. You have Jarren Duran, who has a great matchup against Liddell, 5,200 on DraftKings, 3,600 on FanDuel. He hits the top of that Red Sox lineup, and I do like that game stack and the Red Sox for today. I would just let them in general, but I think that he will get on base a ton, which naturally leads to scoring runs. Cedric Mullins, he has played really well this year. He is 4,900 on DraftKings, 3,400 on FanDuel. He's got a righty-lefty matchup against a struggling Gavin Williams. He's batting .300 on the year with 4 homers, 17 RBI, 3 stolen bases. So he kind of does a little bit of everything, playing in a great Orioles lineup as well. And then, I mean, you have to mention Young-Ho Lee. He's 4,800 on DraftKings. He's 3,600 on FanDuel. He's batting .333 with 3 homers on the year. I didn't really think the Giants lineup, honestly, coming into the season would be this good, but they are rolling. And Aaron Nola, who is the pitcher going against the Giants today, he has been struggling, not pitching like he typically does. I believe his ERA, off the top of my head, it's above 5. So just not doing as well as he typically does. And Young-Ho Lee has been on fire. So you can't go wrong with someone like that. Those are my favorite plays for the day. Let's get into a lineup. So over on FanDuel, my lineup is, I am spending down. I'm doing it. Bobby Miller, baby. Let's go. He is 6,300, like I said, so I am going to spend up mostly every position, except for first base. Yandy Diaz, though, but this guy's been red hot. He is my first base catcher. Second base, I have Mookie Betts, who is second base eligible on FanDuel. Junior Caminero over on third. And then at short, Gunnar Henderson. In the outfield, I have Trout, Duran, Ohtani. And at utility, I have Soler. Honestly, if Bobby Miller plays well, this lineup could go off. It all depends on Bobby Miller. I mean, there are so many studs with so many great matchups on that lineup. I mean, like I said before in a different episode here, baseball is so difficult to predict. These guys with great matchups could easily go 0 for 4 also. So, I mean, overall on paper, this looks great. Just need Bobby Miller to pitch well. On DraftKings, our lineup is Beto and Bobby Miller for our pitchers. For our catcher, we have Cal Riley, the big dumper. And then at first base, Yandy Diaz. At second base is Dylan Moore. Third base, Polanco. So a little Seattle stack there. At shortstop, we have Corey Seager. And in the outfield, I did it. Soler, Trout, Taylor Ward. The entire Angels trio in the outfield against Patrick Corbin, who is terrible. Those are my lineups that I will be sharing. I will be putting in a few more. So let's get into our props. All right, for our home run props, here we go. Gunnar Henderson versus Gavin Williams is plus 500. I like him to hit his first bomb this year. I did call him yesterday incorrectly, but I do like him today to go ahead and get his first one. J-Ram in that same game, Jose Ramirez, he's plus 600. I don't know why his odds are that high. Plus 600 versus Dallas Kramer, who's allowed 4 homers already on the year. In this, J-Ram has, I think, 5 on the year also. So, I like I said, it's plus 600. You can't really go wrong there, those odds. In the Red Sox-Rays game, I like, well, obviously Devers, he's right around plus 250. But for better odds, I like Casas at plus 500 to go yard today, and Trevor Story at plus 450. And then on the opposite side, against Sean Newcomb, I like Yandy Diaz at plus 450 and Junior Caminero at plus 500. So I like a few players from that game. It's a great hitter-friendly ballpark with 2 not great pitchers on the mound, so that could lead to a few home runs. I like Matt Mervis. He's plus 500 against Brandon Pfaadt, who's allowed 4 on the year already, and Matt Mervis has 5. So I like him at those odds today. And then Nick Martinez has given up a few home runs. He also has an ERA above 6. Jorge Polanco is plus 475 to go yard off of him, and Julio Rodriguez is plus 370 to go yard off of him. I have to mention James Wood, who I didn't talk about at all for daily fantasy. He's facing Bailey Falter, who's not a great pitcher. James Wood has 6 homers on the year already, and he's plus 700 to hit a homer today. So, I mean, why not take him? And then in our best ballpark for home runs today, in Texas, you have the Angels facing Patrick Corbin. So, I mean, pick your poison here. Soler is plus 250. Trout's plus 285. Ward is plus 380. Paris is plus 650. I mean, pick your poison on that. Any one of those guys could do it. I do like Corey Seager to go yard today. I believe he's plus 350. So I think there's going to be a few home runs in that game. Hopefully it's guys that we pick. For the strikeout props, really only a few guys. Although Nick Martinez struggles and gives up the long ball, he also does get a few strikeouts. And Seattle has been known to strike out a decent amount. They strike out at a 23.8% clip. Nick Martinez, 6+ Ks is plus 115, so I like those odds. Mitchell Parker is 6+ Ks is plus 180. The Pirates strike out also a good amount of times. They strike out 25% of the time. So I like Mitchell Parker to get 6+ there. I like Aaron Nola today. He has been struggling, but he does still get a lot of strikeouts. 7+ for him is plus 120. And although the Giants have been raking, they also strike out a lot. So they strike out 25.2% of the time. So I like Aaron Nola to get 7+, and maybe he gets back on track today and shuts down that raging Giants offense. There we have it for today. So like I said, we have baseball on pretty much all day starting at 1. That main slate, though, doesn't start till 6:35. So enjoy the day of baseball. Happy Hump Day. Tomorrow's slate is a little bit lighter, so I'm going to take the day off and come back here on Friday. So thank you guys for listening. I will catch you all on Friday. Thank you for listening to today's episode on Daily Dingers. Can't wait to talk more baseball, so tune in next time.